Shalom. Kol holo Yahweh Ba'ashum Yahusha Ba'ashum Rikach Chodesh. The mindset apostles, the mindset elders, at Great Millstone who rule well and taught in this truth. Much respect to you brothers out there who's preaching his word in truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. Tabernacle of David is being risen up right before your very eyes, the hopeful elect and the speckled bird. To you I say shalom. Let's get into this lesson, man. Hey, signs of the times, man. All right. Matter of fact, before I even get into that, right, because we're covering what Bill Gates said and what Elon Musk said the other day as well, right? And so with that being said, right, Ecclesiasticus or Sirach 39 and verse 24, as his ways are plain unto the holy, so are they stumbling blocks unto the wicked. Because you have these other Israelite groups that either want that praise of men, right, or paid off, right, or got that pride on them. They don't have the proper breakdown of Revelation 13 and verse 16 on down, right? It is plain to see, right? If the Lord is dealing with you, he has your eyes open. Right, I believe there's been other brothers from other camps, if I'm not mistaken, from Wi-Fi. I remember seeing that. Yeah, some of those dudes left that organization because of the breakdown of Revelation 13 and verse 16, and I'm not surprised at other camps as well, if not so as well. Just me speaking as a man, I'm not surprised if not so. The Lord's dealing with them, right? But yeah, matter of fact, let's get this. It says the meaning for the holy Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahusha's path and actions are clear, straightforward, and easy to understand. Right? If you're of his men, if the Lord is supping with you, dealing with you, right, he'll have your eyes open to see what he wants you to see, the true breakdowns of the scriptures, the true understanding of the times that we're in, so on and so forth, right? That you're an Israelite, that you got to go out there on the highways and byways, preach his word. Also, not every man is called to be a prophet, but you still got work to do. You can repost videos, help out the ministry, help out the brothers, come to count, listen, have your notes out, listen, so on and so forth. Still make your calling and election sure that way. All right, it says, for the wicked, the exact same ways of power causes confusion, doubt, and spiritual falling. So if the Lord ain't dealing with you, or if the Lord takes away your spirit, Yahweh Razah, that doesn't happen to us. This is what's going to happen to you. You're going to be confused. You're not going to have faith, right? You're not going to endure to the end. Right, your breakdown of Revelation 13 to verse 16 and probably some other scriptures as well is just off. You have no true understanding of those scriptures, man. Right? I'm gonna get these two and I'll start to break it down, right? 2 Corinthians 2 and verse 11 in the KJV, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. Let's get it in the GNT. In order to keep Satan from getting the upper hand over us, for we know what his plans are. Matter of fact, I got to get this one too. Amos 3 and verse 7. Surely the Lord Yahweh power will do nothing but reveal his secrets unto his servants, the prophets. Let's break it down, right? If you're of his men, his prophets, you're going to have the true breakdown. As I just read in the GNT, right? We're not, matter of fact, read it again. Satan, in order to keep Satan from getting the upper hand over us, for we know what his plans are. You other Israelite camps are not properly blowing the trumpet. You're blowing that uncertain sound, right? You're not warning the flock. You see, if the Lord is dealing with you, he'll have your eyes open and you'll know the true breakdowns. And you're not going to say, well, when that time comes, we're going to know. No, we're going to know in advance what his plans are, right? We're going to know in advance what his plans are, right? The MOTB is the CHIP, right? The you know, right? CHIP, right? That's what it is, right? And your other Israelite camps are going off if you don't believe so. Get up here, right? It says, Bill, oh boy, says revolutionary digital ID will exclude non-compliant citizens from what? From banking, healthcare, and education. What the scriptures say in Revelation 13 verse 16 on down, right? You cannot buy or sell, least he have the charagma, right? Just roughly paraphrasing the scriptures. You cannot buy or sell. They said you're going to be excluded. Other times, some of these men have came out, you're going to be, they say you're going to be ostracized, or I believe even some say, you're going to be done away with, if you read between the lines of what they're really saying, right? But that's why we got to trust and believe in Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Matter of fact, let's get this, right? Revelation 3 and verse 10, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, right? You endured to the end. You were doing what you were supposed to do. Make your calling and election sure, right? I will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. What is this talking about? The MOTB, right? That's what it's talking about. His ways are plain unto the holy, but a stumbling block unto the wicked. The wicked can't get this understanding on what this thing is. They telling you what it is, right? American citizens who want to continue using banking services, healthcare, and education must comply with incoming digital ID regulations, according to Bill, which has doubled down on his threat to exclude, right, non-compliant participants. I'm pretty sure that's what it says, right? So yeah, they telling you what it is, man. Right? Here's the main squeeze right here as well, right? Elon Musk predicted that money won't matter in 2036, right? Musk stated money will become obsolete within 10 years due to extreme technological automations. Now, I read this at camp, so, I was just like, hey, just through the spirit, let's go ahead and do a lesson on this, man, right? Go ahead and do a lesson on this, further break it down a little more. But yeah, this is the time in which we're in, right? And they say 10 years, right? We understand, as you read in the scriptures, the devil knoweth that he has but a short time. It's like you, right? So don't be surprised. And the ways in which things are moving, he's trying to implement this a lot sooner, right? A lot sooner, with AI data centers, so on and so forth, This is how this devil is moving, man. Let's see, it says the core prediction post-scarcity economy must argues that artificial intelligence and humanoid robots will create a world of incredible abundance, right? This is this man's technocracy, right? This is what he believes. But really, in which he moves, right? You see clearly on how he moves and conducts himself, right? It's not going to be peace. It's not going to be peace and tranquility, man. His ways are contrary to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Ultimately, we're seeing first and foremost why this man must be taken out of power. Right? This man must be taken out of power. Right? He's polluting the whole world. The data centers are drinking up all the water more than the world can replenish itself, Got concrete everywhere. Food is polluted. The air is polluted. This man must be taken out of power, man. Right? So he's going to implement his plan. But as I'll get, matter of fact, I'm going to read it real quick. Let's see if I got it down here. Right? Job 20 and verse 23, when he is about to fill his belly, right? He's going to implement his plans. He's going to get a lot of people hipped up, right? Yahweh Ba'Shem El Shai shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. So he's not going to enjoy the 4-course meal. He's going to get a little taste, but he's not going to enjoy his meal. Right? He's going to get that punch in the face. He's going to get that sword to him, man. He's going to be thrown into captivity, man. Right? He's not going to be able to enjoy that. Let's get back up here. All right, let's see where he's at. Overproduction of good automations will supply more food, housing, right? Because this is the squeeze in which that's going on. See, a lot of people, even high-paying jobs, they're not able to pay for their bills. Not even for a 1-bedroom apartment or 2-bedroom apartment. They're not even able to keep up. Right? It's that squeeze. This is done on purpose because this is a wicked king that is in rulership, right? Automation will supply more foods, housing, transportation, entertainment than humans could ever consume, right? And there's always a catch. Always a catch. You got to remember that, right? If he doeth good, he doeth it unwillingly, right? I believe that's Sirach 14 and verse 5, just roughly paraphrasing, right? Right? This is part of his plans, all right? Irrelevance of currency because money exists primarily at a database to allocate human labor and resources. It stops serving as a clear purpose when physical scarcity is eliminated, right? Let's read some more. Deflation over inflation. Musk expects heavy automation to trigger massive deflation rather than inflation. He defines inflation as a ratio of money to goods, service, and claims dramatic production increases will slash costs. But, this is how we know we're in a wicked kingdom, man. The earth was already made in abundance, right? They give you that lie that it's overpopulation. Right? Hey, that's part of their plan to get rid of a lot of people. Right? Say it's overpopulated. We don't have enough food. This is under the rulership of a wicked ass king, man. That must be taken out of power. So, they give you these little lies. Yeah, we don't have enough food for all the people. No, the earth was made in abundance to feed the people, man. Right? Let's see, universal high income to counter job displacement must propose that government transition to a universal high income system by directly issuing checks to citizens, you see? And there's a catch to it. You must take the MOTB. And if you do not take it, or slack it, right? If you take it and you do something or say something that's against them, they gonna turn your funds off. It's always a catch-21 with the devil. Never trust thine enemy. The elect ain't gonna buy it, man. The elect ain't gonna take it, man. It says work as a hobby. He envisions a future where labor is completely optional and humans perform work strictly as a personal interest. Let's get into the nitty-gritty, right? Transition trauma, right? Here's pretty much the main squeeze of it, right? Economics warn that the 3 to 7 year transitional period leading up to 2036 will cause severe societal disruption, massive unemployment, and inequality. You see, there's going to be a massive disruption, It's going to be a mass of unemployment, right? You think the brothers going to go to work, right? And the scriptures say we shall be as pilgrims upon the earth, man. You got to expect these days to come. It's just part of the course, understanding and what you're into, right? You're going to be ostracized. Don't be surprised they try to hunt you down as well, man, right? Let's see. Infrastructure control, right? Critics point out tech companies owning the AI infrastructure will likely still charge for services maintaining a wealthy elite class. So even, just me speaking as a man, even if they give you some money, right? You ain't got to work. Money is still going to be, they still got to take their share. All right? They still got to take their share. Let me see. Timeline skepticism. Financial analysts view the 2036 timeline as highly speculative, given the massive capital costs required to scale physical robots globally. Well, we know through the scriptures it's going to happen anyways. This man already has the capabilities to do these things, right? He's just going to implement it, right? And you either going to lay down or get down. But guess what? We're going to trust and believe in Yahweh Shemel Shah. Yahweh Razah, we of those men, right? The Lord's going to take care of us, right? The Lord is going to take care of us. The animals going to be at peace with us. Hey, we're going to be good. But yeah, this man is going to implement it. Don't be surprised he just starts moving. You're already seeing it with the AI data centers. I read the other day with Trump, right? He said pretty much just roughly paraphrasing what he said the other day, in which I brought out account, it's futile. Just give in to the AI data centers. This is for your benefit. Same thing with the MOTB. They're going to tell you, just give in, right? Well, what Billy old boy is saying, right? If you want to continue banking, you want healthcare, education, you got to take this thing, or you're going to be excluded from this their revolution, all right, their fourth industrial revolution, man. But yeah, his ways are plain to the holy, man. You are the camps that are saying that Revelation 13, verse 16 is something else. You got a whole 2-hour breakdown, and it's just madness. You know what I'm saying? Y'all about to find out the hard way. You and your congregation.